Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to absolutely transform you from a passive student into the architect of your own mind. We're looking at a super fascinating framework today called the Personal Genius Blueprint. You know, if you've ever felt like you're just going through the motions in your education, just sitting back and letting information wash over you, well, this is exactly what you need. Okay, let's dive right in and look at how we can totally redesign your approach to learning.
Captain Spark, the guide behind this whole framework, shares this really powerful insight. This isn't just about learning what to do, it's about making a plan for how you will learn best. And that reveals something absolutely crucial. True mastery? It begins when you actually take control of your educational journey. You aren't just memorizing random facts anymore. You're mapping out a custom plan that's tailored specifically to your unique mind.
So, this proactive approach is the core of accelerated learning. When you really understand your own unique learning process and start cultivating your personal strengths, you unlock the ability to progress way faster than conventional methods allow. You're essentially turning your raw potential into true, undeniable expertise. And hey, it's not about cutting corners, right? It's about hyper-efficiency based on deep self-awareness.
So how do we actually pull this off? Well, we're going to construct your path to mastery block by block through 5 crucial phases. Designing your learning adventure, the blueprint foundation, building your mental framework, feedback, tech and teams, and finally, your path to expertise. Let's jump straight into Section 1, Designing Your Learning Adventure. You are the innovator.
To build anything spectacular, you need a rock-solid base, which brings us to Section 2, the Blueprint Foundation, laying the groundwork for mastery. Let's look at those first critical components.
The foundation of your custom map requires 2 initial steps. Step 1 is to set your specific learning mission. And then, once you have that, Step 2 is to immediately establish your 20% core plan that's going to get you there. Let's break down exactly what that actually means in practice.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that you must explicitly define the challenge you're tackling. You need a highly specific target. Whether you decide to master the biological process of photosynthesis or write a brilliant persuasive essay about some complex historical event, the key is to aim for a solid, grade-level goal that gives your learning laser-clear direction.
Once you've locked in your mission, you move to your 20% core plan. This is where you ask targeted questions like, what are the essential ingredients for photosynthesis? By asking this, you pinpoint the 2 or 3 absolutely most important ideas or skills you need to master. This intense focus, it ensures you achieve deep understanding and lets you seek out just-in-time support for the things that truly matter, rather than getting totally lost in the weeds.
All right, now that your foundation is poured, it is time for Section 3, Building Your Mental Framework, Connecting and Testing Your Knowledge.
This framework is constructed by moving to Step 3, which is using the mental model map strategy, and then Step 4, rigorously executing what's called Feynman test prep.
Let's look at the mental model map first. Your brain basically learns best by building bridges. So to make fresh concepts really stick, you intentionally link them to your existing knowledge or to real-world examples. You might draw an analogy, sketch out a quick diagram, or maybe compare the new idea to a personal experience. You are actively weaving this new information into the sophisticated web of knowledge you already possess.
Now, you have to ask yourself, how will you practice explaining this simply? This single question is the beating heart of Step 4, the Feynman test prep. Named after the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman, this strategy forces you way out of your comfort zone. It demands that you make your learning active and creative by preparing to actually teach it.
Executing the Feynman test means you literally choose someone to teach the concept to. It could be a friend, a sibling, really anyone. As you practice explaining the concepts as simply as humanly possible, you will inevitably stumble. Actually, scratch that. Stumbling is exactly the point. By attempting to teach it, you very quickly find your knowledge gaps. Those are the specific holes in your framework that require just a bit more research to solidify.
Of course, even the strongest frameworks need a reliable structure around them, which leads us right into Section 4, Feedback, Tech, and Teams, Structuring Your Support System. Let's grab the final 3 tools in your architectural kit.
To make sure your structure holds up under pressure, you've got to execute the final 3 steps of the blueprint. Step 5 is starting a feedback loop log. Step 6 is activating a tech power-up. And Step 7 is assembling your collaboration crew.
Let's move to Step 5 and see how this builds your resilience. The feedback loop requires you to track your learning progress over time. You make predictions, you log the actual results, and then you calibrate your approach for next time.
Whether you use a physical notebook or a digital app, reflecting on your progress teaches you exactly when to revise your ideas. And honestly, more importantly, it builds incredible self-agency and perseverance.
Next up is Step 6, your tech power-up. You can totally supercharge your custom map by leveraging learning apps or online platforms that give you the exact personalized feedback you need. And to be clear, this is not about mindless scrolling. It's about strategically leveraging technology to practice, get feedback, and access just-in-time support tailored specifically to your unique needs.
And Step 7, assemble your collaboration crew. Look, never build alone. Discussing your progress, your knowledge gaps, and your mental models with a friend, a family member, or a small group in class, it dramatically deepens your understanding. It reinforces everything you've built and often introduces perspectives you probably hadn't even considered.
Finally, let's zoom out to Section 5, your path to expertise, transforming potential into true mastery. Let's look at the masterpiece you're constructing with this 7-step blueprint. This entire blueprint represents a massive paradigm shift. It shifts you away from the old way of standard instruction, where you're just a yawning, passive student waiting to receive information. Instead, it launches you into the blueprint way. This is differentiated instruction fueled by your own drive, where you are an active innovator, continuously applying knowledge in highly creative ways.
And what about your teachers in this new model? Well, they definitely don't disappear. Their role actually elevates. Your teachers become your expert guides. They use data from your learning to help refine your blueprint. They ensure you face the exact necessary challenges to thrive, serve all student populations fairly, and ultimately help build your confidence as you navigate this whole journey. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly empowering reminder from Captain Spark. You're not just a student. You're an innovator, an expert in the making, designing your own incredible learning adventure. This blueprint acknowledges your unique strengths. It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you have the agency to develop authentic products and ask groundbreaking new questions just like the real experts do. You now hold the 7 keys to unlock your own personal genius and accelerate your learning. You know exactly how to set the mission, map your models, test your knowledge, and build your support system. So I guess the only question left for you to answer right now is, what challenge will you choose to conquer first? What will be your next incredible learning adventure? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Now get out there and go build your blueprint.